Celebrate good times. Come on! Woo! Well, we did it, ladies and gentlemen. I now have 2,000 subscribers. Yes! Now, it's been a long time coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long, slow process. On my channel, I preach a very unique philosophy on the YouTube space. I teach people that instead of chasing hype stocks and the future, bro, and cryptocurrency, I instead encourage people to max their tax advantage accounts and buy total world stock market index funds. Now, that's not very popular on YouTube because YouTube is full of new investors and degenerates that have never put their money in the stock market until 2020. And they think that all you gotta do is just buy a hype stock and you're gonna get rich in 5 seconds. And when they hear about index funds, they say, man, that's just so boring. My grandma buys those. Your grandma's probably freaking rich and you're gonna be broke. Just watch. But it's ridiculous, okay? This market that we're in is a freaking joke. We have cryptocurrencies that have no intrinsic value. Fundamentally worthless trash that are only there to pump and dump and to get early investors rich and have new investors left holding the bag. That's all cryptocurrency is. It's a freaking joke and it's almost a religion. But people think because it went up that it's just going to keep doing that into the future. That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. And then you have a bunch of hype investors for stocks. You know, we have AMC, a bunch of freaking clowns, GameStop, and all the freaking hype stocks. Tesla, Neo, Future Bro. All these clowns on YouTube all pump the same exact boring, unprofitable stocks that are the future. And since they started investing in 2020, all they've known is massive returns. The market just goes up, bro. You don't have to worry about fundamentals. You don't have to worry about anything. Just buy unprofitable speculative hype stocks and you're going to be rich in 5 seconds. That is the basic philosophy of YouTube. And I believe that is totally freaking wrong and disgusting that these people are pumping these stocks onto new and uneducated investors. I'm not saying you're dumb if you bought these stocks, but I am saying you've been misled and you've been swept up into hype. Now, I offer an alternative. Instead of doing that crap, I want you to follow the BOGLEHEADS philosophy. Why? Because it freaking works, okay? I've been investing for 10 years. All I bought is index funds. I just bought some stocks recently just for fun. But for my entire adult life, I'm 32 now, I've only bought index funds. And guess what? I'm almost at $400,000 in investments, okay? And I didn't do anything special. I didn't buy any hype stocks. I literally just tried to max my tax advantage accounts and buy total world index funds. That's all I freaking did, okay? Anybody can do it as long as you stay consistent with the process. I'm doing pretty good, okay? A lot of these hype clowns that bought all these hype stocks, they don't have near as much money as I do. And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying you can actually achieve very good wealth, but you have to follow this philosophy. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, what is the BOGLEHEADS philosophy? BOGLEHEADS.org. Are you bored yet? Ooh, GameStop's going to the moon! Sorry, that's not this channel. If you don't like that, go somewhere else, you freaking degenerate. So here's the BOGLEHEADS philosophy. Develop a workable plan. You need a freaking plan. What are your short, intermediate, and long-term goals in life? Do you have a kid? Do you have multiple kids? You need to fund their college? Do you want to retire at a certain date? How much money do you need? You need a freaking plan, okay? You need to understand your finances. How much money are you making? How much can you set aside for investing? Can you cut some expenses to save more to max your tax advantage accounts? You need to make a freaking plan. I know, I'm bored, empty. Next, invest early and often. Yes, the earlier you start investing, the wealthier you're going to be by leaps and bounds. I started when I was 22 years old, and I started putting $450, $500 a month into my 401k, and then I steadily increased that as I got older. And that's all I did. And now I have a pretty nice chunk of change at 32 years old simply because I put my money into tax advantage accounts where I'll never pay taxes again with the Roth. And I just was consistent about it. I didn't care if the market crashed or went up or down. I just bought consistently every single month. It works. Never bear too much or too little risk. Now, this is the biggest principle that I think a lot of people violate on YouTube. You see all these clowns that are 100% this, 100% Tesla, 100% AMC. Why are you doing that? Why are you risking your entire financial future and your family's financial future, if you have a family, if you're not some stupid 22-year-old on Robinhood? Why would you risk your financial future on some speculative stock that could crash 80, 90, 100%? Why would you do that, okay? There's nothing wrong with speculating a little bit, but to go and just YOLO all your money into these stocks, which all these freaking clowns are doing, it's ridiculous. You don't want to do that. That is not the ticket to success, all right? Number 4, never try to time the market. Now, I know it's so easy because you buy the dip and then the stocks always go up. And then once they go up, then you sell it and then you buy the dip again and then it goes up. It's not that simple, ladies and gentlemen, okay? You know the dip can keep dipping? That can actually happen. That hasn't happened recently. Well, it's happened for a couple stocks. But in this market's stupid, all right? But you never want to time the market. Why? Because your emotions will get the better of you, and you'll do something freaking stupid and lose all your money like a clown. So just buy consistently and grow your wealth with the world. Ups and downs, and you'll average out over time. 5, use index funds when possible. Index funds! Guess what? The average investor gets about a 2 to 3% return compounded. The average investor. Why? Because they're so smart that they buy Tesla at 1,000 or Bitcoin at 60,000 because it's the future, bro. And guess what? The people that actually make money, the boring 10% returns, where you have $400,000 at age 32, you just buy index funds. That's all you got to do. Why? Because you own the entire market. You're not trying to freaking, buy this stock on the dip because the dip can keep dipping. You're literally just owning the entire market and you're growing your wealth with the world, specifically with the VT ETF. If you think the world's companies are going to be more profitable, it's going to be more productive, we're all going to be wealthier, why not buy index funds consistently, okay? The other thing with index funds is you don't pay a lot of taxes because index funds aren't trading in and out of stocks like actively managed funds. I know taxes are boring and they're hard to understand, but you actually can lose a lot of freaking money paying taxes. Go look at my video about Jeremy LaFufu, that freaking loser that has to pay $225,000 in taxes because he's trading in and out of stocks when he could have just bought and hold and not had to pay those taxes. That's another advantage of index funds. The third advantage is they're almost free. Okay, their expense ratios are so low that you barely have to pay anything at all. They are freaking awesome, and they outperform even the best fund managers in the long run. But I know you bought AMC, and then you convince other clowns to buy in after you in a massive pump and dump, and you're just a genius. And AMC is just going to go to Pluto, bro. 6, keep costs low. That factors into index funds, okay? They have very low expense ratios. Costs are expense ratios and taxes. Diversify, that's index funds. Minimize taxes. Max your tax advantage accounts. If you have a Roth IRA, you put your money in there, you pay taxes up front, it grows tax-free, and you can take it out tax-free in retirement, okay, as long as you just follow all the rules. Same thing with the Roth 401k if you have that. You will never pay taxes again, assuming you follow all the rules and don't have any penalties. In retirement, once you put that money in there, never again, okay? So the numbers you see in those accounts, those are the numbers you're actually going to get. But if you're a clown buying all these hype stocks and you have these massive capital gains that are outside of tax advantage accounts, you sell that, you pay taxes, oh my God, you have a lot less than you thought you did. But taxes are boring. Keep it simple. All you got to do is buy 1 or 2 ETFs. Okay, you can have a bond ETF, you could have VT, you can maybe have 3 ETFs, you could have like VTI, which is the US market, VXUS, that's the international market, and bonds. Keep it simple. You don't need 20,000 freaking mutual funds or stocks. Probably, if you do that, you're probably going to be overlapping all your investments and your plan's going to be screwy. Keep it simple. I do 1 ETF, VT, that's it. Boom. And then I have a couple stocks that I, play around with. But the vast majority of my portfolio, I just own the world stock market. I own the world. That's it. Very simple. Very simple philosophy. And stay the course. That's the hardest thing. That is the thing that's going to screw over most people. When you stay the course, You ignore hype and BS and moons, and you just keep doing what you're doing. All these clowns will criticize you because index fund. My grandma has index funds, and my grandma's wealthy for some reason. But these people that are making money, unrealized capital gains, when the market reverts or these hype stocks deflate, they're going to lose it all because they're short-term thinkers and they're short-term investors. But if you really understand the philosophy, own the world and buy and own the world consistently for your entire life, and remember you're not going to sell it for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, it's not that hard to stay the course, all right? But it is the hardest part because people get swept up in hype. Oh, Tesla went up, so I'm going to buy it because it keeps going up. Or Bitcoin went up, so it's going to keep going up. That's the problem, okay? You need to ignore that crap. Stay the course. Keep maxing your tax advantage accounts and buying Total World Index Fund. And you will be better off than all these freaking losers on YouTube that basically make their money from selling courses, not from their stocks. So that's the Boglehead philosophy. Now, here's the ETF I invest in. I'm not saying you have to invest in this. It's bargain, AMC. Look at this. Vanguard Total World Stock ETF. One ETF. One ETF. One freaking ETF. One investment. Expense ratio, 0.08. I pay almost nothing. Let's see. Oh, look at that performance. So $10,000, if you invested that 10 years ago, is now $30,000. But I did more in Tesla. Yeah. Long run, your Tesla investment is not going to return that much. I guarantee you that. Look at this. Number of stocks, 9,289. And look at what you're invested in. Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, aka Facebook, Taiwan, Semiconductor, Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan. You own almost every publicly traded stock in the world, okay? And look at your exposure. God, the U.S. market's in such a bubble. It's now 63%. Jesus. Woo! 63% of the portfolios in the U.S. Even if you think the U.S. is, super and amazing, you still own 63% of it. And then you have exposure to the Pacific, to Europe, and to emerging markets. You own the world. And you're basically not paying any taxes, especially if it's in a tax advantage account. Man, so tough, so tough. Here's what an IRA and 401k is. For an IRA, it's a tax advantage account where you can put in $6,000 a year or $7,000 total if you're 50 or over. And then you have the Roth 401k or the 401k in general, which I actually think they just raised the limits. I think it's $20,500. You can do $20,500 per year. This is offered by your employer. And you can do an additional $6,500 unless they changed the number recently if you're 50 or over. So you can put away almost $30,000 a year into your tax advantage accounts. Think about how wealthy you could get, how quickly and how wealthy you could get just by maxing these accounts and buying VT, paying zero freaking taxes, and basically doubling your money roughly every 7 years. Wow, it's really hard, ladies and gentlemen. Stay the course. Now, what you need to ignore is people like this freaking loser right here. Meet Spend Kevin and Jeremy LaFufu. And there's a bunch of others, but these are the ones that I focus on because they're the big dogs on YouTube. Look at this clown. He wants you to master stocks, which you think this clown really knows how to invest in stocks, and the psychology of money. And he charges $536 after a discount, Xmas. People like this are going to promise you or heavily imply that you can beat the market and make so much more money and get rich quick. All you got to do is buy their course, and they get wealthy from selling these lies to you. And what happens is they perpetuate their scam by taking the money you give them for their courses and YOLOing it into speculative stocks during a massive, frenetic bull run bubble. That's all they do. Oh, look how rich I am because I sold these lies and I put them into the stock market. That's what they do. It's a freaking joke. People like this are not going to be around long run because if there's ever a bear market, they're going away. They are going away. Because the only reason they're around right now is because they look like geniuses because they YOLO into speculative hype stocks. Freaking losers. Look at this. Somebody on the beach in what is this? The cyber truck. Jesus. And then you have this idiot right here. I'm going to join his Discord, by the way. Apparently it's free. This is another clown, but I'm not going to talk about him that much right now. But that's it. So I just wanted to reiterate my philosophy. I want to reiterate what I'm doing. why I believe in this, because it works. I've been doing this for 10 freaking years, okay? I'm gonna do this for the next 10 years. I'm gonna do this for the next 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. And I'm going to be a millionaire. It is baked into the freaking cake that I'm going to be a millionaire. And I'm going to be wealthy, and I'm going to retire younger than most people because I follow very simple principles that actually work long run. And you can do it too. And I'm actually not selling you anything. Well, you could buy my book. It's like 12 bucks. But I'm not selling you a course because I know it's a freaking scam, and it disgusts me. It makes me sick that these people are selling these courses. That is my mission. Annihilate these freaking losers and spread the truth about how to actually build wealth. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll join me on my quest to annihilate the grifters and to spread good investing philosophy. And y'all have a wonderful, delicious day. And thank you again. 2,000, let's take it to 200,000. Choose!